Yet another frosty morning, you're having to scrape the ice on the outside of the window. But it's still icy on the inside. Now why is that? And then you realise that all the frost is coming down and it's sat on your wiper sill. And then as it starts to thaw out, it works its way inside that sill, straight inside the car. So as a result, today I thought we'd look at changing the sill. So I'm fairly convinced that we can do it all from outside the car. What I'm hoping to do is basically take the wiper arm off, and today we'll ignore the fact that my wiper arm is sitting here and not over here as it should be. But we're going to take the wiper arm off, and hopefully then we can just remove the seal, get the new seal and pop it back on. So first things first, we need to get this cover cap off. So I've just got a little pry tool. What I'm going to do is just go in the edge here, and just as it comes away, there's like a little pin here, top and bottom. So we'll just pry that away. Once you've done that, you can then just lift that off, and that gives us access to this fixing here. Okay, and this is a 13mm. So I've just got my bit at the end of my socket here, or the end of my ratchet, should we say. I'm just going to hold the wiper still as I kind of just break that seal. Once it's released, it should be easy enough just to take off. There we go. And then from there, we should just be able to pull it up. Obviously, as you can see, there's a fair bit of corrosion in there, so what I'm guessing is it's going to be a bit of a fight just to kind of try and get this off initially. So I'm going to have a go at that now. It might be that I just need to clean some of this up first. Maybe a bit of WD-40 might be in hand as well. Okay, I've spent quite a while on this now, and as you can see, I've used a bit of WD-40. I've tried to get some of this corrosion off, and as much as I wiggle it and try and get it away, it's not actually coming. So I'm going to resort to a different approach. I'm actually going to get a wiper arm puller. What I've done is got my calipers on here, and I've worked out that the arm underneath is just 15, there we can see, just about 15mm there or thereabouts, which I found one on Amazon, I think it is, so hopefully that should go in there nicely. So I'm going to order this now, and then we'll come back to it tomorrow. Okay, so it's the next day, and I'm now the proud owner of a wiper arm puller, because try as I might yesterday, even with WD-40 and everything, this wasn't coming off. So let's get this on and see how it works. Okay, so it seems to be just the right size, fortunately, because we measured it yesterday to make sure we had the right diameter and obviously the right offset. So we've got it in position. What I'll do, I'll just tighten this bolt up, or this screw, shall we say, a little bit initially, and then we'll start turning and see if it's going to pull it off. Okay, it feels like it's really on there. This is proper tight already, and it's not wanting to go anywhere. So maybe if I give it a wiggle and a little bit of shock tactic while it's under pressure, it might release. Okay, I've just wrapped a cloth around it as well, just in case while it's under pressure, if the tool breaks, if it cracks or anything like that, anything that's going to come flying off of it, obviously it's right on the glass, so I'd rather it hit the cloth or something like that so we can protect the glass. Okay, well, it's properly on there. It's under so much tension at the minute, I don't know how it's not gone anywhere. Okay, so I've just sprayed a load more WD-40 right on the stud, on the fixing stud, and given it a good few sharp, hard knocks, just with a socket extension. And under that pressure, it just finally went, and suddenly it's released. So now we have a loose wiper arm. So here we go, it's away, and we can see straight away the amount of corrosion that's in there. So we'll give that a real good clean up. Okay, so next up, I'm just going to try and get the original seal off. When we look at the new one, all we can see it's just kind of double layered grommet kind of thing. So hopefully we should just be able to prise it out, and away it should come. Okay, it's a little bit tricky just to get enough purchase on there with your fingers, or enough grip. So I'm just going to try and pull it with a pair of pliers. Okay, so I'm just giving it a little twist just as it was coming up, worked a treat. So there we go, that's the original wiper seal gasket now removed. So I think we'll take the opportunity just to clean up around here. Okay, good. So with that all nice and clean around here now, what we're going to do is just get the new grommet and try and pop this on Hopefully it should just go in nicely. We might need to give it a bit of persuasion. Not sure if we might need a little bit of WD or something like that just to help it slide in, but let's see how we do. So I think I'm going to take my own advice and just pop a little bit of WD just on the edge of the seal, just to help it slide in a little bit. Okay, brilliant. So there we go. So that went in really nicely in the end. Just that little bit of WD really saved the day. And then just before we put the arm back on, what I'm going to do is just have a look back at the video just to get the angle right. I'm pretty certain I can see exactly where the line was because I can see the dust up here. Obviously, normally if your Alfa was working properly, the wiper should be over here. But obviously it's an Alfa with a rear wiper, so it's going to be slightly different. What I would probably recommend is obviously before you start, before you take it off, just put a line of tape right along the line wherever the wiper is, so then you know it's going to go back in exactly the same place. Okay, so I'm pretty confident I know where it's going to go. So I'm going to get this back on now, and then obviously we'll give it a test, make sure it sits back in its home position, or where it does its swipe that it's going to go not too far and obviously hit the bodywork. But obviously now we've got it off once, we've got the luxury that we'll be able to take it off straight away again. So to get it on, what I've done obviously is just got the arm folded up. I'm going to pop it on, put it in as I look over the top of it, kind of looking in this direction so I can see where it's going to fall. About there is pretty much where I think it's going to go. I'm just going to bring that back up, offer it in, get a bit of fluff off it. Then I'm going to get the nut, just offer it on, spin it down. We'll just tighten it up, and what it should do, just give it a little wiggle as it goes, is just bring it down onto those threads. I'm not sure if you saw, it was knurled, kind of the end of the stud, the fixing stud is knurled, so obviously it means it's going to hold it in place when it comes down onto it, so there's lots of lines basically. Right, okay, with that like that, what I'm going to do, just give it a swipe, make sure it doesn't come too far either way. Okay, perfect. So with it going, I can just see it's coming down to a slight line of dirt here and here from where I went out for a drive earlier and used the squirters. So that means we got it right first time. We're all happy with that. Okay, so one last thing to do, and that's just pop the cover back on. So we can see inside there, if you hadn't seen yesterday, obviously there's just those two locating pins there, and they just go into these little holes here. So putting it back, it's just a case of popping it down, giving it a little stretch out, and they just click into place like that. Okay, brilliant. So there we go. A bit more of a challenge than I thought it was going to be initially, but we got there in the end. So one new wiper seal, about £6. One tool to do it, £6.99. Perfect. All done and dusted. So for now, hopefully that's been useful. If you've enjoyed it or found it useful, give us a like down below. If you haven't done so already, remember to hit subscribe coming up here now. Like I always say, the more likes, the more subscribers I get, the more videos I'll keep making. So hopefully this one's been really useful. Thanks very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.